Hello. Today we shall discuss about the time complexity of human brain. Generally, we may find some people are exceptionally talented. Exceptionally talented means the function of their brain is very quick. I have found one of my friend who can calculate very quickly in his brain. But most of the people have a common power of brain. What do you mean by this power of brain? How can we calculate this? Before the calculating the power of brain, first of all, we have to take one examination on ourselves. That means we have to verify how much we have made us prepared for these calculations. That means how much we have trained our brain to act quickly for the calculations. Let us take the example of multiplications. There are various methods available inside net and in many books like Vedic mathematics, quicker mathematics, magical mathematics, and there are enormous methods. What happens? We select a method abruptly. That means without paying attention to its time taking power. What I say, the time complexity of human brain. That means how much time will be elapsed for that calculation that should be calculated. Because in exam, number of seats are very few, that means 20 or 30. For that, the people or the students that are appearing in exams are thousands. So we have to adapt the shortest possible method or the method which takes least time so that we can have a great score. That means we may qualify in the competitive examinations. But there are many institutions, many false teachers. That means teachers who want to spread their message or advertise. They may qualify you by giving any tricks or anything, but without paying attention to your own ability. So before going to any of the methods, first of all, you verify yourselves. How you will verify? Just I am giving one example. Let us multiply 23 into 4. Multiplication of 23 into 4 takes 1 second in brain or less than 1 second. Just we can think 23 4, that means as soon as we think, if it is stored inside our brain, it comes out 92. But one who has not memorized, that means who has not stored it inside his brain, what he has to do? He has to think step by step. For example, manual multiplication 23 into 4, 4 3 that 12, one step, carry 1, and 4 2 the 8, 1 9, 8 one step plus 1 one step. So there are 3 steps. Further, brain is taking strain. That means in the process it is trying to memorize. Whenever brain is trying to memorize, some of its power is lost for calculations ability. So it is almost taking 3 to 4 seconds. What for an ordinary people? In order to reduce the steps, first we have to count down. Likewise in software, how many steps, that means arithmetic operations, is to be carried out by our brain in this method by me. If I am not very much expert in the table, both addition or multiplication and subtraction, more than 9, that means up to 25 or 30 table, I am not so much expert, then I cannot adopt certain methods, or certain methods will not be applicable for me. So whenever you are expert up to 9 table, as per that you have to select the method. Further, those who have mastered over 2-digit multiplications and memorized the table very quickly, they have to split the primary methods, and they have to switch over to some more powerful methods. But thing is that our aim is to do something in the competitive examinations, and to how fast I have to calculate, because calculator has been devised. So no way, there is no need of learning about this. We may use calculator, but sometimes we may make calculations so fast that calculator cannot do. So we have to make our brain more powerful than calculator. So what I say, in this context, we have to analyze our brain power. First of all, we must assume that 1 second is taken by brain. This is average case for one operation. That means whenever I am adding 2 plus 3 equal to 5 inside my brain, or 9 plus 6 equal to 15, 5 carry 1, this is taking approximately 1 second. So whenever we are choosing any method, that method must have very less number of steps, so that we will commit very less error. If the number of steps will be more, our brain may be jumbled, brain may waste some energy, may be confused, and may commit mistakes more probably. So we have to reduce the steps in any calculations, first thing. Second thing, our brain is acquainted in doing something from left to right. So any procedure that guides us from left to right will take very less time and will give less strain on our brain, because while doing, we will not put our brain for memorizing, because memorizing process takes some of the energy and reduces our brain's calculative power. So you must avoid memorizing while doing any calculations. That means in manual calculations, you should memorize very less number of digits or numbers, so that you can do faster. In examinations, what we do, whenever we choose any number question, then we put a lot of time for thinking to solve it. But we must remember, whenever we are subjecting our brain to any puzzle thought or anything that is puzzling it, then it is losing its energy. That means time will be elapsed without your consciousness. So you will be unable to manage your times. So whenever any method you are adopting, that thing must be taken into account. That means whether your brain has to think much more or has to do something that has been already stored inside your brain. If you are doing away with the stored items, then it will be least trend. So you select the methods that methods adapts to your things or the procedures or the processes that has been memorized. At last we can conclude that two things determine our complexity in brain. Number one, how many steps we are performing. Number two, how much thought is put on our brain. These two things should be minimized to have a calculation very quickly. Thank you. We shall discuss much more about this in the next session.